Hello all you educators and aspiring educators out there. In this video I'm going to be talking about the SADIE teaching strategy known as novel ideas. And this is like an icebreaker. This is a game, this is a group collaboration that your students are going to be engaging in. And I think it's a fun way of just you being able to interact with the class and the students interacting with the class, and it just creates a fun learning experience. And I think that it's also good for your classroom environment socially to release tension and to make your classroom feel a little bit more comfortable. However, I think for maybe a few students, it might have the opposite effect. You might have a student who has anxiety or gets really shy talking in groups or to people, and so it's just up to you as the instructor to know if this will be good for your classroom, if this is something that you can use in the beginning of the year, in the middle of the year, at the end of the year. That's totally up to you as the instructor. And I would also say that this strategy is particularly good for intermediate levels. I would say before that, beginning, early intermediate, English language learners, I wouldn't recommend this. I think it would be something too complex for them. But for your intermediate English language learners, I think that this is going to be right up their alley, because it's a strategy that meets them where they're at. Because intermediate English language learners, they can identify main ideas, they provide details orally, they identify and define new vocabulary orally, and they write simple sentences using high frequency words. So let's get into it. What is novel ideas? What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain it. At the same time, I'm going to demonstrate it to the best of my ability. So the first thing that you're going to do as an instructor is you're going to subdivide your class into groups of 4. And you're going to ask them to take out a blank piece of paper or give them a blank piece of paper. So they should have something like this and a writing mechanism, preferably a pencil, to write with. And what you can have them do is you can either have them number their paper at the top right corner, or you can have them create a team title. Personally, I think creating a team title is a lot cooler, and it's going to give them ability to just be creative and have fun with it, right? So let's write a team title. Team name. I am going to go with Team Awesome. So this is what my paper looks like. Team Awesome. Then you as the instructor are going to provide a sentence starter on the whiteboard or projector, whatever you use to display to students, for them to write on their paper. And what you're going to put is, we think a story 11 might be about, and I used 11, you can use something else. We think a story, insert your appropriate title here, might be about. So you write that on the whiteboard, and then the students will copy that down. We think a story 11 might be about. It's been so long since I've written with a pencil. Everything is typed nowadays. So the student should have this on their paper. We think a story 11 might be about. And then you're going to give them some time to write down their ideas of what they think it's about. And so we think a story 11 might be about. So they're doing this individually in their group. They're not necessarily working as a group yet, but they're in their group setting. We think a story 11 might be about a football player. Or roll of dice. Right? They can just have fun with it. Then what they're going to do is they're going to create a line underneath their answers. So then their paper should look like this. And now they're going to go round robin and share their ideas with each other. So I would say, we think a story 11 might be about a football player. roll of dice. Then the next person would go. As I'm sharing my ideas, students can either copy my ideas down or they can come up with new ideas. They can maybe think of something else while someone is sharing something. And so then as people are sharing, I would write a war story. Oh, I liked what that person shared. Or that made me think of this. We think a story 11 might be about two tall people. So then they would have something like this, and there'd be more filled down right here. So they have their answers, and then the answers that the students are sharing, or new ideas that they think of. Now from here, you're going to move it from a group setting to a class setting. And what you're going to do is you're going to have each team stand up, and they're going to share their answers, right? Well, one from every individual in the group is going to share one answer. I had to think about that for a bit. So they're going to get up and say, you know, you're going to have the 4 people line up. Let's say there's 4 to a group. We think a story 11 might be about a football player. We think a story 11 might be about a roll of dice. We think a story 11 might be about a war story. And so they go down. Then you're going to have the other team stand up, and they're going to share their answers as well. Now the thing is that topics or ideas can't be repeated. So if someone wrote your idea in another team, you can't share that. So if all of your ideas or topics have been expended, then your students have to be creative. So it could be a little bit challenging, but they might be up for the challenge, and it might be something fun. It will propel them to think about an answer. And again, for your English language learners, this is good because they're being submerged in the language, and they're hearing new vocabulary from their students, and it's not all wordy per se. They're just hearing, you know, simple sentences, things that they're going to comprehend very easily. And so that's pretty much the gist of the strategy, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it made sense to you. And I'm going to demonstrate it in class too, so you'll also get an idea for it there. And so go out there and be an effective educator.